Over on Twitch, I streamed the entire game of Fable 3, and I thought to myself, wow, this really is a bustling city. There's a lot of citizens, there's a lot of stuff to do, a lot of markets, a lot of villages. And I was going in all the houses as I was buying all these pieces of property because this game loves capitalism. I thought to myself, wow, some of these houses are really nice, and some of these houses are really bad. So I thought I should examine the quality of housing in the wonderful world of Albion in Fable 3. So strap yourselves in, grab your lunch boxes, and let's rock and roll. Good Lord. The first house we're going to look at is a house called the House of Slate. I'm not sure what that means. Each house has a name in this game, and I don't know what that means. This is located in Brightwall Village, a nice homey community, man. It's nestled deep in the mountains of Mist Peak, and it's very cold in that region, but in Brightwall Village, this seems to be a nice warm place. So let's take a look at the House of Slate, shall we? Wow, there it is. All right, that looks kind of nice, actually. It's a 2-story, 1-bedroom home, and it seems to be brick laid. So I guess we'll just go inside and check that out. Now, before we get into the examination of the quality of housing, we have a couple of points here, folks. The first point is bathroom quality. Is there a bathroom? Is it clean? Does it have proper plumbing? The second point is, does it have a proper kitchen? Is there proper appliances, places to store the food, places to cook the food, stuff like that? The third point is there a safe place to sleep? Do we have a nice warm bed to lay our head down at night when it gets real cold in the wintertime? The fourth point is the overall cleanliness of the home. Is it organized? Is there places to put my stuff? Is it clean? You're going to find out in this video. And the fifth and final point is the outside environment. Is it safe? Can I go out there with my child with a pickleball and a bat and go, boy, let's play some games? We're going to find that out too as well. Like I said, we're in the House of Slate. Let's figure out if they have a bathroom. There doesn't seem to be a bathroom in this place. Now, there does seem to be 2 separate sinks in this house. So apparently they have running water. I'm not sure if they had the technology when this game takes place, but I guess so. They do have 2 separate sinks, one upstairs and one downstairs, but there doesn't seem to be an actual toilet anywhere. So I'm not sure where these folks are going number 2, if you will. There is room out back of the house. There is a nice area right here where if you have to urinate, I suppose you could, but due to the cleanliness regulations of the city, I wouldn't recommend that. I'm not quite sure where these people go poop. So I hate to say it, folks, the bathroom quality gets a red X. Good Lord, that's terrible. How do you go poop? I don't have a clue, actually. Taking a look at the proper kitchen area, this piece of property does have 3 beautiful fireplaces, and I'm very impressed with that. Each fireplace is laid out nicely. It seems to be safe in terms of the fire regulations of the village. On top of that, this piece of property also has 2 wood stoves, which is fantastic. You can cook on it, and you can use it as a source of warmth. Although you wouldn't need to with 3 beautiful fireplaces. Fireplaces may be a mainstay in homes back then, but having 3 of them in a very small area, I do worry about the ventilation in that specific area, because you could get, poison gases up your nose and stuff. And it's just, maybe that's why the life expectancy was very low back then. But I'm very proud to announce that the 2 wood stoves that we have here, they seem to have proper ventilation in them, which is really fantastic. I'm actually really impressed with that. And there's a pot already on one of them, so you can cook your dinner and your stew, whatever you cook back then. You're not going to McDonald's. Good Lord. Another big thing that I'm very happy to see is there's a lot of barrels and jars for food preservation laying around. That's pretty fantastic, because if you know, back then, They didn't have refrigerators, right? You could maybe get your hands on a block of ice, but it's not going to stay ice for long. It's going to be water before you know it. So having a food preparation and food preservation actually is what I'm looking for in the barrels. That's pretty fantastic. I'm very impressed with that because, you know, you salt your meat and preserve it for winter. I don't know what they did before freezers. Come to think about it, that's a good question. Hey, Siri, what did people use in, you know what, I'm dumb enough I can't even ask the question. I am also happy to see that this place does have a pantry because, like, you need a place to put your spices and your herbs and all that stuff, so I'm very impressed with that. And this house even has a beautiful kitchen table. This is absolutely fantastic. I am very impressed. A nice place to sit down and eat with the family if you had a family. I'm a bachelor. I don't have a family, so I don't even have a kitchen table. In real life, I don't have a kitchen table. Is that weird? Perhaps that's a little weird. And I'm also proud to announce that this piece of property also has a well in the backyard. That's fantastic. You have a nice source of clean water, even though you do have a river a stone's throw away. But you got to have a filtered place to keep your water, and that's a well right here. Very, very happy with that. This piece of property is impressive. Now, going upstairs in this beautiful piece of property, we do have one bedroom, like I mentioned before, and we have a beautiful queen-size bed. I got to tell you, folks, that looks comfy. I would want to lay my head there. And like I said, it has clean sheets, which again is probably a rarity back then. So to have a nice, safe, clean place to sleep at night, that's fantastic. That you really can't go wrong with that bed. I want to lay there right now because I'm tired. I think the other big thing, too, with this piece of property is if you have more people living in your home, you have plenty of room to put other living spaces and other beds. So we have to put that on the listing. Now, examining the overall cleanliness of this piece of property, I gotta say, inside and outside, it's very clean. The streets are clean, the insides are clean, it's very organized. There's lots of shelving space to put your little knickknacks and your clothing and your pots and pans. You really can't go wrong with this piece of property. Very incredibly clean. That makes me happy. I don't have to file any paperwork under the inside area. Now, on the topic of clean areas and safe areas, we have to examine the outside environment. It seems to be very clean, like I mentioned before, but the big thing is it seems to be quite safe. It's in the middle of Brightwall Village, right? So I'm assuming you're going to have a plethora of security around the village guarding the citizens of this particular place. And the big thing is there's a lot of kids running around. You always see kids and citizens running around, so it seems to be the general consensus is that it's very clean and safe. And this particular house, the House of Slate, if you will, always has their doors open. That's got to say something. I personally think I live in a safe area in real life outside of a video game. I know, shocking, life exists outside of those. But I don't keep my doors open or unlocked for that matter. I don't even keep leftover salami in the car unlocked. Good Lord. So that being said, the House of Slate, I am really impressed with this, folks. You get 4 out of 5 stars. That's pretty damn good. So looking at this entire piece of property, we have a red X for the bathroom quality. We have a green check mark for a proper kitchen. We have a green check mark for a safe place to eat. We have a green check mark for the overall cleanliness of the home. And we have a green check mark for the outside environment. 4 out of 5. That's pretty good, folks. Let's move on to our next piece of property and check the quality. In our second piece of property, we are in the Dwellers Camp. Located northeast in Albion, it's located next to Brightwall Village and Miss Peak Mountains. This is a very poor community, folks, and it's very cold. And this particular house that we're looking at is called the Slaughterhouse. I'm not sure why it's called that either. Boy, we have a very small shack that we're looking at. I'm not sure how this is even livable. I'm the owner of this piece of property, and I'm not even sure why I own it. I don't even remember buying such a thing. So looking at the inside of it, I gotta tell you, there's no bathroom in here, right? It's very simple. No bathroom, red X. Good Lord. And looking at the proper kitchen, there's a half-eaten pie right there with one single shelf and a table with a bottle of wine on it. There's no kitchen in here. No wonder this is a very poor community. These people don't even have kitchens. They don't have bathrooms. What? How do they survive? It's freezing out here. There's no goods. Good Lord. Red X for the proper kitchen. And looking at a safe place to sleep, I mean, it is a structure, so it's gonna be warmer than outside, and you do have a blanket on the ground, but there's no source of warmth. There's no fireplace. There's no wood stove. I mean, I guess you'll survive. So I guess by technicality, it is a safe place to sleep. So reluctantly, I will give them a green check mark for a safe place to sleep, but I'm not happy about it. Matter of fact, this place is on my list. I'm shutting this whole village down, and I'm relocating these people to a safer environment. Looking at the overall cleanliness of this piece of property, I mean, I guess it's clean, but it's a shack. That's not saying much. You could have one single shoe on the ground and it'd still be clean. You could have a pile of laundry on the ground and I guess it would still be clean. There's really not much you can do unless you stack up shit inside of it. Do I give it the green check mark? I guess so, by technicality. Green check mark for overall cleanliness. But I'm not happy about it again. And looking at the outside environment, I guess it's safe. Like, there's not any immediate danger in terms of like other people, because like everyone in the community seems to be very close knit and it's a small community, but it's freezing cold. You could die in these temperatures. Good Lord, look at it. There's snow. There's no source of heat around here. There's very, very few fires laying around here. And because of that, I cannot give the green check mark to a safe outside environment. It's freezing out here. If they had proper ventilation and proper fires inside their homes that should be bigger than my shoe, then I would, but I can't. Red X. Good Lord. This place is a travesty. 2 out of 5? Good Lord, a safe place to sleep and overall cleanliness, but that's not saying much. Goddamn it, I've made sandwiches bigger than this place. I'm shutting this place down, the slaughterhouse. No wonder they call it the slaughterhouse. You're gonna fucking get slaughtered in here. You're gonna die if you live here. Good Lord. Moving on to the third and final piece of property that we're examining today, we have Riverside Studios in Bowerstone Market. And this is a nice little fun place, man. I like this joint. Like I said, it's located in Bowerstone Market, and this is a bustling area, folks, filled with shops and markets and wonderfully happy citizens. This is a nice place to be, folks, and they have a plethora of properties in this area. Good location, right next to the market. Let's check out Riverside Studios, a great name. So looking inside this place, again, I'm not shocked. There doesn't seem to be a bathroom, which is especially upsetting because this city has a sewage treatment plant. Why is there not a bathroom? Does the world of Albion just have like a community bathroom in every village? That doesn't seem practical. I mean, maybe it does. I don't know what they did before running water. I didn't live back then. But there's no bathroom. But there is a single sink in this place, just like the place in Brightwall Village. I'm not sure what that's for. I don't even know what you would use that for. Maybe cooking, maybe urinating, maybe you urinate in there. I don't know, but that doesn't seem sanitary if you're preparing food, fruits and veggies in that sink. You wouldn't be urinating in it. I don't know. Bathroom quality, Red X. Again, just like the place in Brightwall, this place has a beautiful fireplace. I really love this area, man. I could stand next to this fire for hours. And on top of, it being a source of warmth, you can also cook on it. You can put your little pots and pans in the fire, cook up a hot dog or two. Did they have hot dogs back then? I don't know. This place also has a wood stove with proper ventilation, and that goes a long way. Scattered throughout this piece of property, we also have various barrels and jars to store and preserve food. That makes my heart happy because I know that these people are eating safe food. You can't just leave meat out like they do in the world of Skyrim. That's just absolutely silly. But in the world of Fable 3, they do preserve and store their food, which is fantastic. This property also comes with a pantry, which excites me greatly. I love a good pantry. I don't own one myself, but I've been to houses that have pantries and I'm very impressed. Maybe one day I'll have a pantry. You really can't go wrong with that. Proper kitchen, green check mark, baby. Fantastic. That's impressive. That makes me kind of hungry. You know, it's examining places in video games is a real tough job. If you want to support the channel, you can go to patreon.com/officialjoeyc for all your exclusive Joey C needs, and you'd be supporting the channel already. Going upstairs in this piece of property, we have a fantastic queen-size bed. Again, with clean sheets, which goes a very long way in my book. I don't know about you, but this bed looks real comfy. Dude, I would love to lay my head there. It's a bed fit for a queen, and as you know, I'm a queen. In the game, not in real life. I am the Queen of Albion in the world of Fable 3. I'm very manly, if anybody was wondering. Alrighty, back to the examination. The big thing about this is this piece of property is so big that if you moved more people in, you could absolutely add more of these beds because this space is huge. A safe place to sleep, green checkmark, baby, that's fantastic. And looking at the overall cleanliness in this piece of property, I gotta tell you, not a problem whatsoever. This is very clean, very organized. This is a really beautiful place to live, I gotta tell you. And matter of fact, I rarely say this, if I had to transport myself into a video game, this is where I would live. This is a nice house, man. Good Lord. Look at that kitchen table over there. That's just beautiful. So overall cleanliness, green check mark, man. This is great. It's cleaner than my real life house. I don't own a house. I don't own an apartment. I pay a man to live there. That's kind of sad. And the final point, the outside environment. Gotta tell you, real safe. Lots of citizens running around. Once again, the door is open. I'm not sure if that's just because I own it or if the current owners are just leaving it open to go in and out freely. I don't know if it's a community home or what, but it's safe enough to keep the doors unlocked. There's kids and stuff rolling around. The big thing for me is that this place is right next to the market. Okay, so if you run out of bread, you run out of grain, you run out of flour, you can go right down there and buy whatever you need. And there's a pub and shopping places all over this city. This is a great location, folks. Bowerstone Market is a great place to live. Matter of fact, this is probably the place out of the three of them that I've examined. This is the place that I would recommend. Good Lord, Riverside Studios, it gets an A+ for me. Actually, it gets a 4 out of 5 due to my rigid standards that I have here. But that was it. Folks, ladies and gentlemen, non-binary, gender fluid, and everybody else in between, thank you for watching this examination of the quality of housing in the wonderful world of Fable 3. I greatly appreciate the support. Consider hitting the subscribe button. If you don't want to, that's okay too, man. Like I said before, if you want to support the channel, you can go to patreon.com/officialjoeyc, or you can become a YouTube channel member for all the same perks as Patreon. If you want to support me more, you can go to twitch.tv/officialjoeyc. I'd love to have you over there. We stream the entire game of Fable 3 over on Twitch, and we do a lot of fun stuff. So, folks, with that, I leave you with one important thing, okay? Cherish the precious moments, be love, and stay dude. I'm getting out of here. You see that water? I'm jumping in. Here we go, baby. All righty. Woo!